Hello and welcome back to Bizarre Bureau, the place where we unearth the world's most peculiar puzzles. Today, we re-diving into a mystery that sounds like it was ripped straight from an adventure movie, a real-life treasure map, etched not on paper, but on solid copper. This isn't just any old map. It's the Copper Scroll, one of the legendary Dead Sea Scrolls, and it points to a treasure so vast it could make a king blush. So picture this. It's 1952. Archaeologists are meticulously exploring caves near Qumran, on the shores of the Dead Sea. In a dusty, forgotten corner of what's now known as Cave 3, they find something utterly unique. Among the usual parchment and papyrus scrolls, they discover two rolled-up sheets of pure copper. The metal was so corroded and brittle that it couldn't be unrolled. For years, it sat there, its secrets locked away, teasing historians with the ultimate question: what could possibly be so important that it had to be engraved in metal for eternity? Unlike the other Dead Sea Scrolls, which are religious or community texts, the Copper Scroll is something else entirely. It's a list of 64 locations, and next to each location, an inventory of unimaginable wealth. We're talking tons of gold and silver, sacred vessels, and priestly garments. The descriptions are tantalizingly specific. In the cistern, which is in the court of the peristyle, 900 talents. Another entry reads, in the cave of the old washer's house, 65 bars of gold. The total value? By modern estimates, it could be well over $1 billion. This immediately sparked a firestorm of debate. Where did this treasure come from? Who hid it? And why? One leading theory suggests this was the legendary treasure of the Second Temple of Jerusalem. As the Roman army advanced on the city in 70 AD, priests might have frantically gathered the temple's sacred wealth and hidden it across the Judean wilderness, creating this indestructible map to preserve its location for a future generation. It's a dramatic, heroic tale of trying to save a sacred heritage from destruction. Imagine the desperation and hope that went into hiding these items, engraving their locations onto metal so the knowledge would survive even fire and flood. Another theory, a bit more grounded, proposes that the treasure belonged to the reclusive Essene community living at Qumran. They were a devout Jewish sect who had separated themselves from what they saw as the corrupt temple priesthood in Jerusalem. Perhaps this vast fortune was their own community treasury, accumulated over generations. Hiding it would have been a desperate act to protect their life's work from the encroaching Roman threat that eventually destroyed their settlement. But here's the twist that keeps treasure hunters up at night. The language of the scroll is tricky. It's written in an unusual form of Hebrew, and the landmarks it describes are maddeningly vague. It mentions places like the salt pit, the aqueduct, or the tomb of Zadok. These sound simple enough, but 2,000 years of erosion, earthquakes, and human activity have completely changed the landscape. It's like trying to find a specific tree in a forest that has since been clear-cut and replanted twice over. Is the gutter in the bottom of the tank still there? What does the second opening even mean today? This ambiguity has led to a third, more skeptical theory. What if the treasure never existed at all? Some scholars have suggested the Copper Scroll might be a work of folklore, a legendary tale of lost riches meant to inspire hope or serve as a symbolic story, rather than a practical guide. Maybe it was a literary exercise, a flight of fancy written down to be remembered. Engraving it on copper would have given this legend a sense of permanence and importance, turning a story into an artifact that felt real. It's a bit of a letdown for the treasure hunters, but it's a fascinating possibility. A story so good, they had to write it in stone, or in this case, copper. Despite the monumental challenges, the hunt is far from over. From seasoned archaeologists to amateur adventurers, people have dedicated their lives to cracking the code of the Copper Scroll. One of the most famous was a man named John Allegro, one of the original scholars who worked on the Dead Sea Scrolls. He was so convinced the treasure was real that he launched his own expeditions in the 1960s. He scoured the desert, following the cryptic clues, but came back empty-handed, much to the embarrassment of his academic colleagues. Modern technology has breathed new life into the search. Ground-penetrating radar, satellite imaging, and advanced linguistic analysis are all being deployed to reinterpret the ancient text and survey the unforgiving terrain of the Judean desert. Every so often, a news story breaks about a new expedition or a promising new interpretation of a clue. The hope is that one of these high-tech tools will finally reveal a hidden entrance or a natural formation that matches one of the scroll's descriptions. The dream of finding even one of the 64 caches is a powerful motivator. But let's think about the implications for a moment. What would happen if the treasure were actually found? Finding a few gold bars would be incredible, but finding the sacred vessels from the Second Temple? That would be one of the most significant archaeological discoveries in history. It would provide a tangible link to a pivotal moment in the ancient world. The religious and political shockwaves would be immense. It would rewrite history books and could even have profound implications for modern faiths. The ownership of such artifacts will be intensely debated on a global scale. It's a treasure that comes with a heavy weight of history and responsibility. So, what is the Copper Scroll? Is it a genuine map leading to the lost treasure of the Jerusalem Temple? Is it the hidden savings of a devout desert community? Or is it simply a beautiful piece of ancient folklore, a story of hope etched in metal? To this day, not a single piece of the listed treasure has ever been officially recovered. The 64 locations remain a secret, and the billion-dollar prize remains buried, waiting. The Copper Scroll is more than just an unsolved mystery. It's a perfect storm of history, religion, and adventure. It represents a tangible connection to the ancient past, a puzzle written by people who lived 2 millennia ago waiting for us to solve. It's a testament to the human desire to preserve what is most valuable, whether that value is in gold and silver or in faith and heritage. The allure of the Copper Scroll is that the treasure is still out there, somewhere, hidden in the dust and rock of the desert. And as long as it remains unfound, the hunt will continue, and the legend will only grow stronger. What do you think? Is there a billion-dollar treasure waiting to be discovered? Or is this the world's oldest, most elaborate wild goose chase? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thanks for joining us on this treasure hunt at the Bizarre Bureau. If you love digging into history's strangest mysteries, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss our next investigation. See you next time.